This video is an overview of the Unit 3 progress check for English 102. The purpose of this progress check is to demonstrate your progress on your Unit 3 argumentative research paper. This exercise will give you an experience using AI in an ethical way because the online writing coach will analyze your rough draft and offer you feedback on some of the strengths of your paper, along with rubric and assignment-based suggestions for improvement. You'll want to read your feedback and apply it as you complete your revisions. Opal, the AI coach, will not tell you how to make the revisions, but it will provide you with guidance on what should be reviewed and revised. So you'll access Opal by clicking this link, and you're going to want to copy and paste your rough draft into the text box. When you click the link, you'll hit the Start button. If it asks you to sign in, please use your personal Google account. If you do not have a personal Google account, go ahead and submit the rough draft of your paper to this folder, along with a note that you would like me to submit the rough draft to Opal for you. I'll submit it and then I'll send you the report. In order to submit the results, so what you'll actually want to submit for this assignment are either screenshots of your feedback, or you can use the Share Output button or the Download File button in order to generate a copy of the report that you can then submit to Brightspace. Again, if you do not have a personal Google account, go ahead and submit the entire rough draft. However, if you are running your paper through Opal yourself, I just want a picture or a copy of the results from Opal, not the actual draft. Before submitting your draft to Opal, please make sure your draft is complete. Your feedback will be significantly better if your draft is complete rather than incomplete. So please make sure you have in-text citations, that you have a references page, you have used at least 6 sources, and that you have all of the required elements of the research paper: the introduction, the background, your CSET sections, your counterargument, your rebuttal, and your APA references page. So once you have submitted your rough draft to Opal, it will generate a feedback report that looks like this. At the top, you will see that there are 2 things that you did really well on. And so you can see on this example that the person had an excellent thesis statement and that the organization of the arguments was very logical. Okay. Then underneath of that, you will see areas of growth. And you will see 4 areas of growth: expanding content, adding source credentials, refining your references, and smoothing your transitions. And underneath each area of growth is a brief description or an example. I will give you one note that my students last semester noticed. Opal uses word count, not page count, and so it will approximate your page count based on your word count, and it is not always accurate. So if you know your paper meets the 7 to 8 full page requirement, then Opal gives you feedback saying it's not long enough. Obviously, you can discern that. However, if your paper is significantly shorter than 7 to 8 complete pages of text, then you will want to address that. And keep in mind, title and references page do not count toward the page count. It will also give you some critical requirements based on the assignment guidelines and the directions. It will give you a note on voice, and then it will give you an actionable checklist along with direct links to the resources that Opal is basing its feedback on. Now, in order to share this, you can do screenshots and submit your screenshots. Please just make sure you have screenshots that cover all of the feedback, or you can select Share Output or Download File. Do not use this link up here. It will just be a link to the generic Opal homepage. So if you are going to use a link, you need to make sure you're getting it down here. And this will actually create a downloadable that you can then submit into Brightspace. Now, in addition to looking at your feedback from Opal, please keep in mind the basic requirements of APA style. So if this is the sample paper that I submitted, I noticed that it's missing page numbers in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to go to Insert, Page Numbers, and I want them on the right side. You'll also notice that each of the paragraphs is centered and they should be left aligned. So I'm going to highlight each paragraph and select alignment and then tab over for the indent. We also know that the first header of a paper should be the title, not the word introduction. So I would want to change that. Then my body paragraphs should have topical headers. So instead of putting the claim as the header, this claim should be the first sentence of the paragraph, and then the header itself would be a short phrase that indicates the topic of that paragraph. So I also have to review my draft myself to make sure that I have appropriate headers, I have appropriate line spacing, appropriate margins, font, all of those elements as well. So in addition to using the feedback from Opal, you will also need to look at your feedback or look at your rough draft as on its own as well. If you have any questions on this assignment, please reach out. Thank you.